Hey guys, welcome back to The Clinical Trials Guru. Again, it's The Clinical Trials Guru. We're going to talk about something that's related to a question I got, but it's something I feel is very underrated and very underappreciated in clinical research, and that is the importance and the value of a sub-investigator. So you hear, and you've probably seen a lot of my videos where I talk about getting PIs, how to get them, how to partner with them, how to find new ones. Well, a very close cousin to this is sub-investigators. And actually, this video was inspired by someone who sent me a question asking how they can get involved in the research space. I believe they want to be a medical liaison or like a project manager or something like that at the CRO or even sponsor level, but they have no research experience and they have a PhD. And I suggested that she work at a research clinic near her as a sub-investigator to get the necessary experience, because research sites, I don't know about yours, but mine, we're always looking for new sub-investigators. Why? Because we don't want to be too dependent on one particular PI. And PIs also want more sub-Is. Why? Because they want to start delegating some of their tasks and their responsibilities to the sub-Is, because guess what? They don't want to be in the research clinic all day. I take that back. Some of them do, but most of them don't. Most of them have other stuff going on. They have private practice. They're busy. They're running around. They're making their rounds at hospitals. So a sub-investigator, a qualified sub-investigator, really can help out a lot. So, and then the research site, obviously we talked about how you don't want to be too dependent on one PI. So finding sub-Is is good because you can build up their CVs and eventually make them a PI. Now it's even better if your sub-investigator is an MD, which is usually the case, but sub-investigators can be PhDs, sub-investigators can have master's degrees. I'm actually a sub-investigator for a lot of trials, especially for psychiatric trials where you need raters with a master's level degree or higher to do certain rating scales. Usually cognitive tests. We do a lot of psych studies, so a lot of cognition tests, a lot of involuntary movements, things like that. So I'm even a sub-investigator. So this person who's a PhD, I think this is a perfect place for her to get started. Just go in your area and look at sites and ask them if they're looking for sub-investigators. And hey, if you find one that can't pay you what you're expecting right away, and you really want that experience, and that experience is really important to you, you'll still sign up with them, show up for a couple of visits, kind of learn the ropes, get a good lay of the land for research, and then start providing some value, and they will end up paying you. Usually a sub-investigator gets paid for procedure, but you can also negotiate a percentage. So if the PI is getting 10% and you're a sub-I, but you're doing like almost everything the PI is doing, you can ask for 5%. And I've paid sub-investigators 5% in the past, or fee for service. So that's why I wanted to make this video. There's nothing really out there on this topic that I've ever seen. I mean, there's very little out there on clinical research in general, but the value, and I really think sub-investigators, that particular function in the study is way overlooked, and I think it's very important from many levels. Sponsors, by the way, always like to have the site have a lot of sub-investigators, a lot of qualified sub-investigators, because that helps with some of the oversight for the study. It helps the PI, especially at a busy clinic, it helps the PI kind of delegate his or her responsibilities to qualified people. So sub-investigator, very important, very underrated. If you are looking for a way to break into this industry and you have a master's or a PhD or something like that, and you have no research experience but you want to build up your CV, become a sub-investigator. You can become a sub-investigator at numerous clinics. You don't have to just go to one. Okay, and if you're a research site and you're looking for PIs, so you're looking to invest in your future, in your company's future, start recruiting sub-investigators now, build up their CVs. After a few studies, have them be the PIs if they're the right fit. Hopefully this helps. This is Dan from theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Keep your questions coming. They are good. Thank you very much.